Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having a good week so far. I hope it's productive. I hope you're using lots of English and practicing for your IELTS exam. Welcome Fuang, hi Angel, Elizabeth, Domenico. Nice to see many of our members in the class. Welcome Carolina, our chat moderator. Good to have you with us, helping us to make this class flow smoothly. Anna, Anipa, nice to see regular students as well. Students, in this class, we are looking at IELTS Speaking Part 1. This is usually how we start off our week of live classes to get you speaking, get you practicing your English, your spoken verbal English. The general rule is if you can speak English, you can probably read, write, and listen to English as well. And this speaking part 1 is going to be about flowers. So, beautiful flowers. I live in the Garden City of Victoria, so there are definitely lots of flowers, especially this time of year around me. Flowers are generally a part of just about everybody's life in greater or lesser capacity. Students, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there for the general IELTS. Check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live classes. In fact, we'll be using aehelp.com in just a bit to talk with some students and ask some speaking questions. For aehelp.com, the academic IELTS, you just need to click this big red button that's right above my head there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, and an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent, so you are in great hands with us to prepare for your test. General IELTS website looks like this at gieltshelp.com. Again, click that big red button and you are good to go. You have access to our apps, our interactive courses, practice exams, and much, much more, as you will soon find out in this lesson. We have a new code from a new video that we released in the last few days. The code is EXPECT9 for a 10% discount. And again, the apps are Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. Instagram is IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help. So check those out. And for emails, you can always send us an email, adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Welcome, Amra, our chat moderator as well. Carolina and Amra are here to help you. So if you have questions, you can direct them at either Amra or Carolina, as well as myself. I do pay attention to the chat, so I try to catch it as much as possible. Okay. How about now? Thank you. Somebody said there's some echoing, so I'm pretty sure I just fixed that by getting rid of an extra mic there. It'll be much, much better now. And there you go. Thanks for letting me know. I'm trying a new setup, but you can see that hopefully that there's we got a better camera going on right now. We're using a DSLR camera. So there you go. Okay. All right, everybody. So we've got a full lineup of classes this week. We've got speaking part 1 right now. Okay, we've got task 1 writing, then we've got reading, we've got speaking part 2, and then speaking part 3. So classes today, 2 classes tomorrow, and then 2 more classes on Saturday. So lots and lots of classes. And in the meantime, when you're not in a live class, check out the videos and, of course, use the website. So this is the latest release. Zakra, you can absolutely make up examples in task 2. You just need to make sure that they're believable. Okay? All right. Okay, everybody, so the IELTS speaking, it's a roughly 15-minute interview where you are speaking to an expert who is trained to assess your speaking. Their job is to measure how well you communicate in English, okay? So the goal of the speaking exam assesses your ability to communicate well in English. It is not a casual conversation. I saw a comment on one of our YouTube videos a couple of days ago that said, "Oh, I think it should be spontaneous." It should be original, but not spontaneous. Okay, you don't go into a job interview with a spontaneous conversation, at least not most job interviews. You don't go into an admissions interview for a doctorate or a master's degree in university and have a spontaneous conversation. So you prepare and you think about strategy, and it's same for the IELTS, okay? You need to prepare, you need to apply strategy, no matter the level of your English. So you have to be familiar with the format, okay, the kinds of questions that you're going to be asked, and you need to be familiar with the type of answers that you will provide, okay? It's not a spontaneous conversation. If you have a spontaneous conversation, it will definitely not be your best score, okay? All right. 90s Yadin says, casual speaking can give us how much band? It really depends on how you're answering the questions. If you're casually answering the questions and you're mostly on topic, you might get a 6.5, maybe a 7 if you are using perfect English. Okay, so that's a good question, Yadin. Like Yadin is saying, well, how much can we get if we're using casual? So if you have perfect English, meaning you sound like a native speaker, and you have a casual conversation, you will score around band 7 to 7.5. Okay, that's a really good question. All right. If you have some mistakes and an accent, but you have a professional conversation, you can score a band 7. Or sorry, you can score a band 8. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. If you have perfect English and you use professional communication, I should say, not conversation, you can score a band 9. Okay, so that was a really good question. All right. So again, keep this in mind. If you have perfect English, but you're speaking casually, you'll score around band 7, 7.5. If you have some mistakes with an accent, but you're using professional communication, you can score a band 8. Now, keep in mind that most people who sit the IELTS exam are in this situation, okay? So most candidates, not all, most candidates are not native English speakers, so this is the best approach. Does that make sense, everybody? So most people who sit the IELTS exam are English as second language speakers, meaning that the chance that they will make some mistakes in their grammar or vocabulary is quite high. Some unnatural mistakes, which will of course affect the lexical resource, the grammatical accuracy, maybe some pronunciation features. But as long as you're using professional English and you are responding to the questions well, you can still get a score of a very good English user. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, so Zahra Arif is asking a good question, right? It's a good follow-up question, Zahra. So Zahra is basically saying, well, what are some ways to sound more professional? Okay, that is an excellent question, Zahra. First, speak in full sentences and reflect the question by paraphrasing it as much as possible. Okay? So what do I mean by that? All right. Let's jump to an example here. So let's jump to this part 1 example where the examiner says, let's talk about flowers. Okay? How often do you buy flowers? You can say, I frequently purchase flowers. Okay? So notice how here I'm reflecting and paraphrasing the question. The question says often. I reflect by saying frequently. The question says buy. I paraphrase and reflect by saying purchase. Okay. Let's look at the next question. Now, students, this is speaking, so make sure to speak and repeat. Okay. So copy what I say and copy how I say it. Okay. All right. See some congratulations going out to Aryan. I'm guessing, Aryan, you got a good score on the IELTS exam, and you're saying, see you soon in Canada. Oh, yes, I see that, Aryan, that you got band 7. Okay. Aryan, send me an email. I would love to connect and get your testimonial. Okay. All right. So here, what is your favorite flower? Give me a couple of starting sentences to reflect this question. Okay. So again, that was a really good ask. One of our attendees asked, how can I sound more professional? And I said, use the question and reflect in your answer by paraphrasing the question. Okay. Obviously, this gets more and more challenging with later questions as they get more and more complicated. So let's take a look at the first few here in speaking part 1. This question, what is your favorite flower? Reflect this question with some paraphrasing. Okay, I will do that as well. Ubaydulayev says the type of flower, kind is better here, Ubaydulayev. The type is okay, but kind is better. The kind of flower that I like the most is. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right, Chiak says flowers. Oh, Aryan, that is so kind of you. Thank you for that. You're awesome. And I'm happy that you got a band 7 overall. I really am. I hope that all of your dreams are fulfilled, and I'm sure they will be. You're a very studious person. That's great. All right. Aryan, please send me an email. I would love to get your picture and testimonial. We just got one this morning, so that was great. Okay. All right. Jean Viegas says, it's no doubt that I love roses the most. Yeah. So, like the most, love the most. These are good paraphrasings of favorite flower. Okay. Juan Pablo says, my favorite flower is the. Good, Juan. Yeah, so my favorite flower is what is your favorite flower is okay. It's not a lot of paraphrasing, but you don't have to make it too complicated right away, okay? At the beginning of your speaking interview, in fact, I recommend kind of almost using exactly the same words as the question, just so you get comfortable, fluent, and accurate, okay? So this is a good tip here for you with this. Okay, so tip. For the first few questions, just use the words from the examiner's question so that you get comfortable, fluent, and so you avoid mistakes. Does that make sense, everybody? Yeah, thumbs up. Is that clear? So you have 15 minutes to show that you are a band 8, band 9. You don't need to show that in the first 20 seconds by paraphrasing in the most complex way. In fact, it's best to show that you can use accurate English for simple English. Okay, I see lots of thumbs up. That's great. All right. So first, to sound professional, speak in full sentences. If you speak in sentences like, yeah, sure, I buy flowers often. Favorite's roses. I like tulips. Okay, obviously short spoken English is not professional English. Okay, you're not going to sound like a band 8 or a band 9 user, so keep that in mind. Okay. All right. Another way to sound professional is give explanations. Okay. Think about the question in your listener's head, in this case, the examiner. Okay. So usually it is the why question, right? So, for instance, here, when this student said, it's no doubt that I love roses the most, of course, the natural question here is why? Why do you love roses the most? Because they are both a beautiful, vibrant red color and have an incredible fragrance. Okay. All right. Now, the next question that's usually or often in the examiner's mind is, so can you give me an example? And they sometimes will ask that. Okay. That's why I like buying roses for my mother on Mother's Day. Okay, which just passed recently. Okay, so that's how you sound professional. And of course, you increase that by finding the most appropriate vocabulary. So instead of saying they have a good smell, you can say they have an incredible fragrance. Fragrance is used for a good smell, right? Okay, so that's what you do. Light Princess says Father's Day. Yeah, that just passed, right? A few days ago. Maryam says chamomile. So Maryam, that's exactly what you want to avoid. The kind of flower I like the most is chamomile, because it is a pretty white flower with a yellow center, and more importantly, it can be used to treat many illnesses, such as a cold or an eye infection. I had chamomile tea last week when I was coming down with the chills. Okay. So there you go. There's another answer. Absolutely. So these are the Band 9 level responses. Okay, students? Band 9. So answer, explanation, and an example. All right. So again, just repeat after me. What is your favorite flower? The kind of flower I like the most is chamomile because it is a pretty white flower with a yellow center. And more importantly, it can be used to treat many illnesses. Try it. It can be used to treat many illnesses, such as a cold or an eye infection. Make sure you're repeating, okay? I had chamomile tea last week when I was coming down with the chills. Chills means brrr, like you're getting a cold, okay? I had chamomile tea last week when I was coming down with the chills. Next one. It's no doubt that I love roses the most because they are both a beautiful, vibrant red color and have an incredible fragrance. All right. Now, you try the next question without too much assistance from me. So here we go. Do you like to have flowers in your home? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. All right. There we go. Some tricky spelling there. Do you like to have flowers in your home? Again, repeat after me and I will look at some responses from students. Yes, I love to keep flowers in my house, especially in the living room. Yes, I love to keep flowers in my house, especially in the living room. They not only help to liven up the atmosphere, but also keep the air fresh and give a sense of the outdoors. They not only help to liven up the atmosphere, but also keep the air fresh. And give a sense of the outdoors. I have several succulent plants, such as Dieffenbachia, in the corners of the kitchen and living room. I have several succulent plants, such as Dieffenbachia, in the corners of the kitchen and the living room. One more time, let's give the full answer. Now, for those of you who feel ready, try to repeat without reading. Yes, I love to keep flowers in my house, especially in the living room. They not only help to liven up the atmosphere, but also keep the air fresh and give a sense of the outdoors. I have several succulent plants, such as Dieffenbachia, in the corners of the kitchen and the living room. All right, good job, Anna. Good job, Domenico. Good job, John. I can hear you repeating. I swear I can. Well done. Okay. All right. Nicely done. Okay, let's take a look at what some of our students have written here. So this is from RV Love. Well, with a name like that, I would imagine you have some flowers around your place. RV Love says, yes, of course, I have so many red roses in my garden. When I have a depression, I'm going to my flower garden and I'm feeling very relaxing because flowers are changing my mind. Okay. I understand what you're saying, RV. However, you have some mistakes with grammar and word form especially. So let's correct those. Let's help RV. So here we go. Yes, of course. I have so many red roses in my garden. How do you say, it's not when I have a depression. How should we say this? Can somebody help RV here? When I'm going to my flower garden, and then we change this as well. Not then I'm feeling very relaxing. We use a different grammar form here. Yeah, very good, Ubaidullah. Yeah, very good, Domenico. Yes, when I feel depressed. Very good. Or Carolina says, when I feel down. Yes, when I feel depressed. I go, because it's general, to my flower garden to relax. Because flowers are changing my mind is strange in English, so we would change this to relax. So I keep lots of flowers to help elevate my mood. Okay, that would be better. So RV Love, there you go. All right. The original answer would be a band 5. Okay, Mr. Defi is asking, what would you give to the original answer? The original answer here would be a band 5 at this level. Okay, when we fix it, it's closer to a band 8. All right, that was a good question. All right. Eshwar has this answer. We'll quickly upgrade this one as well. So here, Eshwar says, yes, I would love to have flowers in my house. They not only give a good look, but also a good fragrance, which helps to overcome the mood swings. Okay, here's a question following Eshwar's question. And this is a question to all of you. Does Eshwar have flowers in his, my apologies if it's a her or her, I'm not familiar with all the international names. Does Eshwar have flowers in his or her home? According to what Eshwar has said here, does Eshwar have flowers in his or her home or not? Okay. So Eshwar says, yes, I would love to have flowers in my house. They not only give a good look, but also good fragrance, which helps to overcome the mood swings. Okay. Jivan says no. Maya says no. No. Eshwar, is this what you meant? That there are no flowers in your home? Angel says, I don't know. Okay, so we don't know, but likely not. The answer, see, Annie says he does. Okay. We don't know, but likely not. Okay. In English, you have to be very careful when you use modals. Okay. Do not use modal verbs. Modal verbs are like would, could, might. Okay. Do not use modal verbs in your speaking and writing sections because they can be very confusing. Okay. Use affirmative language. And professional language is generally affirmative language. Use affirmative language. Can, do, will. Okay. So Eshwar, in this case, your band score would actually be possibly even just a 4. Because it doesn't answer the question. Okay. All right. So I know that some teachers, some videos say, oh, be polite and use would and could. No, in English, we don't really, especially in professional communication, we don't really emphasize the concept of polite so much because unfortunately, polite is often confusing. So it's better to be clear and formal and not necessarily polite. Use affirmative language. Okay. All right. So here, it sounds like you're giving a condition. So yes, I would love to have flowers in my house if I had more windows to give them ample light. Unfortunately, my apartment is a bit too dark to keep flowers. Okay. They not only give a good look to the place, but also emit fragrance, which helps to overcome mood swings. Okay. All right. So Harry Parker, I love it. Harry Parker says, new word unlocked, ample. Okay. Ample means sufficient amount. Ample light. Okay. And notice this verb here, emit a fragrance. Okay. All right. So focus on those clear affirmative answers and explanations. Give me a nice full sentence answer to this question. Where would you go to buy flowers? Okay. Nice full sentence. Where would you go to buy flowers? Ubadulayev says, just today I was a bit concerned about the test, but after smelling the flowers, I gained confidence. Ubadulayev, we gain confidence. Yeah, scents can give us a change in mood, absolutely. I've never actually thought about that for confidence, but you might want to do some what's called aromatherapy. I'm not an expert in aromatherapy, but I have heard good results in this sense. Okay. All right. Jivan Gopi Reddy has this answer for us. I usually buy flowers from the market, which is 2 lanes down from my home. I prefer to buy flowers from the market as it gets fresh flowers every morning and it is near to my house. Okay. Jivan, it's not bad. I can tell you have good English. Let's try to improve the content so it's better communication. So I usually purchase flowers. Let's do a little bit of paraphrasing at this point. Purchase flowers from the flower market. Anybody know the name of the flower market or the person who sells flowers? Okay. There are a couple different ones. Let me teach you a bit of vocabulary here. Light Princess says florist. That's right. Okay. So a florist is a person who sells flowers. Okay. What about a place where you can buy flowers, shrubs, trees, maybe even soil, maybe even some gardening tools? Yeah, very good. Shushi shubi. It's called a nursery. Yeah. Okay, just like for humans, a nursery for babies, nursery for flora. Okay. So Gopi says, I usually purchase flowers from the florist, which is 2 lanes down from my home, called Rosie's Tulips. I prefer to buy flowers from there as they get fresh cut flowers every morning, and it is near my house, so I can get the roses and tulips back home in water quickly, and in this way they last for at least 10 days. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I usually purchase flowers from the florist, which is 2 lanes down from my home, called Rosie's Tulips. I prefer to buy flowers from there as they get fresh cut flowers every morning and it is near to my house, so I can get roses and tulips back home in water quickly, and in this way they last for at least 10 days. All right. Kamaboko has a good answer for us. Kamaboko says, personally, I believe nurseries are my favorite choice when it comes to buying flowers because they have a huge variety. In fact, I bought some rare black roses there 2 weeks ago for a pretty penny. Anybody knows what that expression means? A pretty penny. Okay, let's see how many of you are doing reading and watching movies in English and picking out some of these idioms. So Kamaboko, it's a good answer. Make sure to include an example there. I would definitely include an example. Okay. Very good. Light Princess is fast. Well done. It's actually a large amount of money. Okay. So it's the opposite of cheap. It's expensive. It's a high price. It's a pretty penny, okay? Shubi's like, oh goodness, really? Yeah, it sounds interesting, right? Like, it's a penny. Why? It's a pretty penny. Okay, it's quite often used, this expression. All right. Okay. Let's jump to the next question. On what occasions would you give someone flowers? Definitely on special occasions, such as birthdays, graduation, and of course Mother's Day, as I previously mentioned. I buy flowers for my nearest and dearest. I also purchase a bouquet spontaneously every now and again for my wife to surprise her and show affection. I did that just last week on a casual Monday. Okay. There you go. There's my answer for you. Definitely on special occasions such as birthdays, graduation, and of course Mother's Day. As I previously mentioned, I buy flowers for my nearest and dearest. Now make sure to repeat, everybody. Okay? Definitely on special occasions such as birthdays, graduation, and of course Mother's Day, as I previously mentioned, I buy flowers for my nearest and dearest. As I previously mentioned, is a good way to connect information, and you have to connect information in the IELTS, okay? I also purchase a bouquet spontaneously every now and again for my wife to surprise her and show affection. I did that just last week on a casual Monday. Maria says, oh, it's a romantic answer. I am a romantic at heart. Okay. Angel, it's in English, it's bouquet. Bouquet. Right? Like boo, like boo. And then K. The T is not pronounced. Bouquet. It's an A at the end. It's a French word, obviously. Right? Okay. Bidex Gamer has this answer for us. To be honest, on some occasions, because it's some, such as birthday, Mother's Day, and for the closest one, I purchased flowers. Just told that I bought flower previous week for my dearest. Okay, we've got a few mistakes there, Bidex. Let's fix that up. Let's turn that into some accurate English. Okay, to be honest, we don't need that. There's no need for a sense of honesty here, all right? It's not a good leading expression in this context. Use the question. I procure. It's a bit on the technical side, but it works. I procure flowers on some occasions, such as birthdays, Mother's Day, and only for people who are closest to me and for those who are closest to me, like my parents, siblings, and grandparents. Maybe give grandma a flower, right? Just as I said, not told, earlier, I bought flowers the previous week for my dearest mom. Okay, that's better. One more time. I procure flowers on some occasions, such as birthdays, Mother's Day, and for those who are closest to me, like my parents, siblings, and grandparents. Just as I said earlier, I bought flowers previous week for my dearest mum. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. So nice full sentence answers here. We're going to be practicing quite soon with students, okay? Are flowers important in your country? Yeah, Ubaydulayev says procure, new vocabulary. Procure, Ubaydulayev, is especially used in business English. Okay, it's used in everyday and especially in business English, right? Are flowers important in your country? Jay Patel says, yes. There are significant importance on flowers in our country, India. Firstly, it is a positive symbol related to our religion, Hinduism, and another lotus is national flower in our country. Jay, you've got some good ideas. You need to put it together with a bit better grammar. Here we go. Yes, there are significantly important flowers in our country, India. Firstly, they are a positive symbol related to our religion of our Hindu religion. The lotus is the national flower of the country and symbolizes strength and rebirth. Okay? So careful with that grammar. Once you have the content, great. Then get the right grammar and fix it so you can get those high band scores, right? Okay. Domenico has this answer. I believe that flowers in my country hold significant cultural and symbolic value because they are not only appreciated for their aesthetic appeal, but also for the meanings associated with them. Like what, Domenico? Can you give me a flower that is held in high regard in Sicily or in Italy specifically? Okay. All right. Last question while Domenico is giving us that example. Have you ever received a flower from someone? Only put your answers once in the chat, guys, or one of the moderators is going to mute you. Careful. I'm warning you. Hens, careful. Yep, see? Carolina's already on it, hens. It's one of the ways the moderators help us as they start to pull out spams and repetitive messages. Thank you, Carolina. So only once. See, Amra just took out Bedex's repetition. All right. Have you ever received a flower from someone? Moderators they mean business, Angel. They mean business. You won't get around them. They're great. They do what needs to be done to make sure it's fair and everybody gets a turn and we're all focused on English. Okay. Harry Parker says, I don't actually receive flowers from my friends or acquaintances really often, but I remember when I got really sick during school times, I got a bunch of flowers from my classmates and I was really happy. Okay. All right. So here is another tip for professional English. All right. Reflecting back on that topic. So here's another tip. Reflect the grammar of questions. If the question is in present perfect, have you ever received flowers from someone? You should. You need to answer in present perfect. Yes, I have. Although I don't get flowers often, I have received flowers in the past when I was quite ill during grade 9, and my classmates sent me a bunch of roses and a get well card. It really made me happy, and I haven't forgotten about it ever since. Okay. All right, so this would be your band 9 answer. So yes, I have. Although I don't get flowers often, I have received. Okay, yes, I have a bunch of flowers. Why? So here's a good question for everybody. This is an advanced grammar question for those advanced English students. Why is this question in present perfect? Okay, there's a really good answer to that. So have you ever received a flower from someone? Golda says to show achievement. Almost, Golda, but not quite. But you're on the right track, Golda. It's not to show achievement. Amra says it concerns the experience. Yes. All right. Why? So present perfect is used to show achievement or emphasize achievement, change over time, repetition over time, experience, and what's the fifth reason to use present perfect? So for those of you who are using our websites, the premium course, you learn these very important reasons for grammar. It's always the reasons. That's right, Golda. It's expectation. It concerns experience and expectation. Because most of us at some point have received flowers, and the speaker is expecting a positive answer and details. Okay, so in English, with this question, whoever's asking you, so whether it's your friend, whether it's your classmate, or whether it's the IELTS examiner, the reason they're using the present perfect, have you ever received a flower from someone? The reason they're using that is because they are expecting that you're going to answer with a yes, I have. I have received flowers on numerous occasions, or I have received flowers a couple of times, right? It's quite unlikely that you have never received a flower from a friend or a parent or some other person congratulating you for an achievement, right? So that's why it's being used here. So here, Harry Potter, to do this quickly, just start with yes, I have. And then you can say, I don't actually receive flowers from my friends or acquaintances really often, but I remember when I got really sick during school, I got a bunch of flowers from my classmates and I was really happy. I have never forgotten about this. Okay, so it's not Harry Potter, Nipa, it's Harry Parker. Harry Parker. All right. Okay, everybody. So that is great. Let's practice speaking to each other. This is what you need to do to volunteer for speaking. So yes, right now you are going to have a chance to connect with me and actually practice these questions. Carolina has put the instructions into the chat. Thank you, Carolina. Amra has also put it in the chat. And the most important, of course, is to go to the website first and register an account. You can use it for free, or if you want to, you know, purchase the premium package. It doesn't cost much money, and it's very useful for all these live classes for your IELTS exam preparation. And so you have all the materials when you are not in these live classes. So click this big red button to join the premium version of the course. That's just right above my head there. And again, we're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner, IELTS Test Registration Center, and you can use the code EXPECT9 for a 10% discount. And that's because when you use our course and you practice every day, you can expect to get a great score. So go to your My Student account. You'll see the computer-based practice exams, the interactive course. And here you see the student partner speaking. Click on the student partner speaking. Use a headset if you got one. Check your microphone. Check your speakers. Okay. Accept the terms that you are legal age and you are responsible for speaking professionally. And then you will see all of these awesome students in here. Riyadh is ready to go. So Riyadh found me as master in here. I'm listed all capital letters as master. Okay. And you can send me a message saying I want to volunteer.
Yes, sure. Here my passport, which I used to register for this exam a few weeks ago. Please have a look at my credentials.
What is your full name?
My given name is Domenico, and my second name, family name is Lafauci. Please refer to me as Dominic.
Okay, Dominic, where do you live?
Well, I live in a cozy little town, which is nestled within the province of Messina. The town is called Venetico, in a two-bedroom apartment on the ground floor of a modern four-story apartment building.
Let's talk about flowers. What is your favorite flower?
Well, I'm not particularly fond of flowers, but if I had to choose one, it would be the red rose, because the red rose symbolizes love and passion. Moreover, I love the fragrance of roses and their soft petals, which not only serves as catalyst for expressing my emotions, but also for giving a fresh and soothing ambience to the house.
Are flowers important in your country?
Oh, definitely, they are extremely important. They hold a great significance in our daily life uh, because because they symbolizes the connection with nature. Uh, with nature and for example, Rome is in Rome. There's a square called Spain of Square, which is decorated with flowers. And Italians generally appreciate flowers for the fragrance they emit.
Okay, I'm going to stop there and give you a bit of feedback. So that was good, Domenico. That's a solid 7. The previous answer was a solid 9. So you had one really good answer for the previous one. This one was okay. In Rome, it's called the Spanish Square. I've been there. Spanish Square in
Spanish
English.
Square.
Yeah.
I did a bit of research on the internet, and it came up. Yeah, it came up as Spanish Square.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think when I was there, I remember it being referred to as the Spanish Square, but I could be wrong. It
The
could be a
square,
difference.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Square of Spain. The Square of Spain.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was there, we went there with my friend, and everybody was calling it the Spanish Square. So who knows? But anyway, the Square of Spain or Spanish Square. It's got a lot of stairs. It's a really cool place, and yeah, it's decorated with flowers. Okay, good. I really like your vocabulary, Domenico. That's great. You just have to make sure that you're speaking fluently and you're on the right track. Okay. So what is your favorite flower? I couldn't quite catch the very first part, but it was something like, well, I'm not that particular with flowers. Like you
I'm
didn't,
not particularly fond of flowers.
you're not that particularly fond of flowers. Yeah. Fond of flowers means that you don't really like them all that much, right? So, well, I'm not that particularly fond of flowers. We're fond of. But if I had to choose one, I would choose the red rose because it symbolizes love and passion. They have soft petals. I like how you expressed their texture. That was really good. Okay. Domenico, thank you for the vocabulary and thank you for helping me troubleshoot the cause or the source of the microphone
Very
issue.
welcome.
I
You
appreciate
are
that.
very welcome.
You have yourself a great rest of the day and get yourself a flower. Become friends with the flowers, Domenico. They're great. They're fun.
So I would say Sicily, for example, is teeming with jasmine, especially during the summer months, and you can find them in every nook and cranny of the island.
I've seen, of course, many pictures, videos of Sicily, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There are some really beautiful floral places in and around Sicily. I know that from what I've seen. So, so yes, so it's great. It's kind of like Victoria. You've got lots of greenery.
The fragrance that jasmine emits, especially at night when you are having a leisurely stroll on the seaside promenade, or you are wandering around through the small alleys of the town. So you get it, the fragrance blows your mind.
Yeah, I can only imagine. One day I will visit. All right, Domenico, have a great rest of the day. We'll talk again. And again, I appreciate it. Thank you for your patience and your help.
You're very welcome.
Bye for now. All right, give Domenico a thumbs up. He hung in there and he was really helpful. Golda, I know you really tried, so I'm going to give you a chance here. Are you ready? Golda. So the problem was on my side. So Riyadh Golda, thank you for your patience as well. I do appreciate it. It's all fixed up now, so we're good to go. Yeah, I should have just refreshed the website. It probably would have worked. Here we go. Hi, Golda. You can probably hear me now, but I can't hear you. Golda, try the same. So try to refresh. So hold down Shift and then hit the refresh button. Try to reconnect to the website. Okay, that might do the trick. Okay. All right. Let's go to somebody else. I think Thu tried here as well, so we'll give Thu a chance. Are you ready? Yeah, students, I mean, lots going on, right, with having YouTube open, having the website open, having, a lot of moving parts here. So you just have to kind of bear with and stay the course. Hi, Thu.
Hello, Win.
How are you, Thu?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
You can or you can't?
I'm doing great.
All right, it doesn't sound like we have too good of a connection, Thu, on your end either. So it could be a little bit of a...
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now. Okay, how are you, Thu?
I'm doing great.
All right. Thu, do you like flowers?
Actually, by and large, I don't like flowers because they cost me a lot of a small fortune when I buy it, and I'm usually in a time of debt.
Okay, you're usually in a ton of debt and they cost you a fortune. Just repeat after me. They cost me an arm and a leg to buy flowers.
It cost me an arm and a leg.
Yeah, that's an idiom.
Arm and a leg.
It costs me an arm and a leg to buy flowers, so I don't like them all that much.
It cost me an arm and a leg. I don't know.
Yep, and as Light Princess is saying, it costs me a pretty penny to buy flowers, so I don't like them.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thu, let me ask you a couple of questions. How often do
Actually, I'm in a time of debt, and as I had said a moment ago, I have to pay through the noise whenever I have to buy flower to see of my friend before she goes abroad. I mean.
Okay. Where would you go to buy flowers?
Well, in my living areas, there are a lot of establishments that that you can purchase flowers. For example, there is a store in the vicinity of my house, and you can go there to buy. If you have a chance to go to my living area, I mean.
Thu, did we lose you? Are you still there? All right. Thu, I'm just looking at this and you're saying in my living area.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Thu, we don't say in my living area. In English, that sounds kind of strange. So in my area, not living area, in my area. That includes the word living. So in my area. Okay. It's better to say around my house. There are lots of places where I can purchase flowers. Don't use you.
Yes. I'm forget because
and use where.
Said it a lot of time today.
Yeah. And you said that later. You're like, if you're in my area. And it's like, well, I'm not sure when I'm going to be in Vietnam next, so I can't honestly tell you. But yeah, so avoid the word you, right? Around my house, there are lots of places where I can purchase flowers. Can you just repeat after me? Around my house, there are lots of places where I can purchase flowers.
Around my house, there are lots of places where I can purchase flowers.
Okay. There is a spot in the near vicinity of my home.
There are spots in the near vicinity of my home.
called Fuang's Flower Shop.
I'm sorry.
Called
The
Fuang's
flower sauce.
Flower Shop. Okay?
I don't know how to put.
Yeah, you want to be specific with that as well. Okay?
Yes.
All right, so Thu, careful with awkward translations, okay? Do lots of repetition and reading aloud so that you have some natural English, okay?
Yes.
All right, so the band score for that would be about a 5.5 without corrections, okay? So you have to make sure that it's a bit more accurate. Thu, thank you so much for volunteering. I appreciate it. Have a great day, and then come back tomorrow and volunteer again, okay?
Yes, I want to volunteer again because I had never had a chance to speak in part 2.
Okay, I will keep that in mind. So that's going to be on
Yes.
Saturday, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, bye, Thu.
Yes.
All right, that was Thu. All right, students, we're out of time. I'm going to stop there. We'll do a lot more volunteering and more lessons in the coming 2 days. And now that I've got it figured out with this new setup, one of the reasons for the some of the technical issues today is, as you guys can see, I'm using a different camera. I'm using a much better camera, but it kind of messed up some of the settings, I think, on the websites and on the on some of the software, but I'm figuring that out. I thought I figured most of it out, but you know, you never know until you do a live class, right? So I appreciate your patience, everybody, and thumbs up. Students, for continued uninterrupted practice, go to aehelp.com for academic IELTS and go to gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. That's where you'll find a lot of videos, okay? John, you can absolutely volunteer next time. Alfred, you can absolutely volunteer next time too. I saw that you were getting a little bit frustrated that you don't have a chance to speak. By the way, students, on the website, to book a speaking lesson interview through Zoom with me, you can do that by clicking this speaking interview practice button that's just way up there, okay? And I look forward to helping you out. Don't forget to visit the website, aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Click those big red buttons and you will have access to all of the software and materials to really get going. That is it for now. Tomorrow I'm back with task 1 for members and reading for subscribers. So subscribe to the channel. It's free. aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com. Have an awesome rest of your day. Good night for those of you who are getting ready for bed. And see you all tomorrow. Thank you, Amra. Thank you, Carolina. Much love to all of you. Bye for now.